Okay, so it is time to get this crack-a-lackin'. Whew. Game face. By the way, new merch just came
What is
in
it?
today.
What is
Got
that?
it says Big Body Music.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I got
That's
some.
how
I
did you get in the door to be able to do something like this?
just said I was gonna do it.
You know people, I guess.
Nope.
Not
I've been
really.
a musician my whole life. I played piano since I was like 7 or 8. I did
Yeah,
classical and jazz piano until I turned about 14 to 15. I bought a bass when I was 17 years old. I got me a Rogue
yeah,
bass off a musician's friend for $99. You know that kit?
yeah.
I played it till I got tired of it. Probably good 2 or 3 weeks, maybe.
I hear you.
Realistically, I played it for years. I got a buddy of mine to kind of teach me how uh, do do the thing, and I got a cheaper Yamaha acoustic when I was like 22.
Yeah,
Played it for a while and got married, had life,
yeah,
got divorced, more life. Got married again, had a bunch of kids, and
yeah,
now my wife graduated from school and she got her a good job.
yeah.
And I was spending more money watching my kids to paying somebody to watch my kids than I was making working 60 hours a week.
Oh, yeah. I get that.
So my wife and I talked about it. She said, "Don't even worry about it. You stay home, watch the kids, save that money." And once everything got settled, I decided to pick back up on the things that I felt that I should have done in my 20s.
Yeah,
And the realization of all of the opportunities that I let walk by me because somebody else convinced me that music was not a viable career choice in any stretch of the imagination. You know,
yes.
I was basically told that if I were to pursue a performing arts degree or that career choice in general, I would literally be selling my babies for rent money as soon as I
Yeah,
could. You know what I'm saying? And when I started thinking about that, I said, well, why is this the case? Why is it that a performing arts career is so fraught? Well, a lot of
mm,
it is it requires a lot of business acumen. You got to know how to market yourself. You got to know how to
yeah.
talk to people, where to look for the people that are going to help you. By the way, adjust your camera up a little bit. I only got like this much of you.
Okay.
Awesome, awesome sauce.
Is that
Um,
better?
and then I started saying, well, what can I do to help people who are having the same issues that I had when I started thinking about a music career? And part of the things that talked me out of a career in music were answering those questions. You know,
Yeah.
where would my money come from? Where do I find jobs? How do
Mm,
I book gigs? You know, because most of the musicians I know even graduated with a performing arts degree, got
yeah.
out of college, and then started giving guitar lessons to kids. You
Yep.
know, and it's like, well, how do you make a career out of it? How do you find these things? And I said, well, I'm going to show people. That's what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
I'm going to make an event and it's going to center around artist development. It's going to center around networking and knowledge of marketing and
Yeah.
knowledge of how to get your foot in the door. And a lot of it is, frankly, knowing where to look, knowing who to talk to, knowing where to look for the person to talk to.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, especially now, because like you can put together a pretty professional studio in your house, and
Oh
you
yeah,
can get professional results if you have the talent.
yeah,
But the problem with that is because it's so easy to produce professional level music, easy.
yeah,
Because it's so easy to get the equipment as of a professional level, everybody and their mama's making music. Not all of it's good, but how do you figure it out? How do you
right,
know what's good, what's not? Do you listen to the 100,000 songs that are posted to Spotify every day? No, it all comes down to the business side of the
yes,
music business. So, a lot of my event is centered around introducing artists to other artists, introducing artists to booking agents, to promoters, to the people that would help them get their career off the ground. Um, if you notice, there's a whole section about music students, and
yeah,
those are the people that have no idea. Like, you obviously have some idea how to promote a show. You obviously have some idea to find somewhere to play, even if it is just walking into a bar and be like, "Hey, give me $100 and I'll play for the next 4 hours."
yeah,
But the kids that are just now getting out that have no idea how the world works, they get artist development, they get music development. We're going to show kids how to actually write music, how to
hmm,
actually, work the chord circles, how to develop an idea into a song. And these are all things that we kind of learned the hard way, you know?
yeah.
It's like, when did you write your first song?
The first song I ever wrote was probably 17, but it didn't have words.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
It was just a little cool little lick kind of thing, and I really didn't start playing the guitar, like playing, until I was probably 19 or
Mm-hmm,
20.
mm-hmm.
Because in high school and stuff, I was playing ball, I was playing football, baseball, didn't have time for it. I learned G, C, and D and F, and I could strum a little bit, but
That's all
it
you
was kind
need.
of terrible.
Three
But
chords, that's it.
yeah, but then I'd started writing music. I never just wanted to look up, tabs and chords and stuff. I would just take the chords that I knew and just work on some kind of strumming pattern and put them together. And eventually, my right hand caught up with my left hand. And every time I sit down I mean, to this day, when I sit down on the couch and pick up the guitar, I have no idea what I'm about to play. I just pick it up and play that emotion, feeling, whatever comes to me. And sometimes, a song comes out, sometimes it doesn't. I just sit there and,
Be
noodle
angry at it.
around. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But in my 20s, I played in a band. I mean, we were a 5-piece band. We played all the college towns and stuff like that.
Nice.
Super fun, all that. And then when I turned 30, I got married, and I was married for 6 years. Then got a divorce, and I mean that's what I love to do is music. Like when I in that span of time when I was married, there was no music hardly. I mean, the first 2 years I was married, I didn't even play the guitar.
Mm.
So I've been trying to get back into it. Wanted to record all the songs that I've written lately and over the
Nice.
years. So I call up all my musician buddies and say, hey man, I need some drums on this track. Come over, let's throw them down. And the whole thing with the album that I've got about 40 or so songs recorded,
Nice.
and 10 I just I was all my buddies tell me, hey man, you need to put some of this out, man. This stuff, it's good. Put something out. So I was like, all right, I got to stop writing, recording. Just let's pick, say 10 or 12 songs, and let's put together an album. Work on. You'll have those rough mixes where you can sit there and listen, for your enjoyment kind of hobby thing. But I wanted to really go in there and kind of mix them better myself and try to master them.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I've looked around at sending them off to get professionally mastered. But I mean, it's a lot of time and effort when you do it all yourself for sure.
So
But
I
it's a hobby, and I love it, man.
so I always when that particular thing comes up, I always say stuff that kind of it's going to sound stupid. Bear
Yeah,
with me. If you're good at writing and you're good at picking melodies, but you're not good at mixing and mastering, it's not going to hurt you to find somebody to mix and master for you because you do what you're good at and let other people do what they're good at.
yeah,
And like collaboration is one of the biggest things in music. And that's one of the things that people tend to lack on. A lot of people say, well, you can pay me for a feature. You can
yeah,
pay me to play a song. You can pay me to write this. And it belongs somewhere. But if you're not going into it with the idea of a love for the music and a need for collaboration to bring apart everybody's best side,
yeah,
you tend to get lost in the process and you miss out on a chance to make excellent music.
yeah. No, I agree. I mean, it's just you get into the time factor and the
Mm-hmm.
money. I mean, because everybody that wants to mix and master stuff wants money. So
So, if that's the case, you find you somebody that's willing to work for a portion or percent.
yeah, yeah,
And like the people in the San Francisco gold mines, the ones that made money were the ones selling shovels.
yeah. You're probably right.
And so there are people whose only vein in the music business is selling shovels. It's like everybody's got to pay the bills, everybody's got to pay rent. And
Yeah,
if you're really good at mixing and mastering and you can get 10 tracks knocked out in 10 hours or 2 days or whatever, and you
yeah,
charge $200 for that, I mean, more power to you. I feel
yeah,
like me taking 2 weeks to master 10 tracks to a level that I'm good at, that $200 is well worth it if it saves me 2 weeks of time, which I could be
yes,
writing more songs or watching YouTube or whatever, Because Lord knows I'm not staying productive when I'm paying somebody else to work for me.
yeah. And
But
see, that's the whole thing. I mean, it's I do it for the enjoyment for myself and my
mm-hmm.
buddies. You know, we just love music and stuff, and we have day jobs, we have kids, and you know that little time you do get to write something or go work on the computer mixing something. And I mean, my best way to learn mixing and mastering. You know, I've watched tons of YouTube videos and all that kind of stuff, just
Mm-hmm.
trying to learn about it. But it's just get in there and try to do it.
Well, yeah.
And
I mean, that's 100% how I learned how to do it. I got a track. I sang it really badly. I tried to see how good I could make it sound.
yeah,
Auto tune does not save everything, guys. Just to
uh,
let you know, it does not save everything.
I don't even.
I have a hard time hitting a high you over C, but I tried and I failed, and I threw away that recording very quickly. So let me get to the official questions I have for you.
Okay,
We're gonna knock them out real quick. First off, where are you from?
I'm from Decatur.
Decatur,
About
Alabama, right? Not Decatur,
Decatur,
Georgia.
yeah, Decatur, Alabama. About
Awesome,
20 minutes from Huntsville.
awesome sauce. What got you into music?
Riding around in my parents' car when I was little, you know, my dad, he was listening to classic rock. My mom liked the 90s country and,
So like
you know,
Metallica classic rock or like Led Zeppelin classic rock?
yeah, like Led Zeppelin and the Southern rock, you know, Leonard Skinner, the Allman Brothers, stuff like
Linkin
that.
Park classic rock? Does that hurt your
Hey, I
feelings a
like
little bit?
Lincoln. No, no, no. I like Lincoln Park. It's funny these days when you hear that like classic rock on the radio station, and you're like, "Oh my God, that's classic rock
Right.
now!" Like Foo
That's
Fighters.
the Fuel album. It came out in '96. What is that doing?
Yeah,
Yeah. And then you're like,
but
wait,
yeah,
that's still 25 years ago.
anything with guitars, I love it.
So I actually kind of missed this one. What is your musical influences? Who would you say that your songs are inspired by?
Um, I mean, I would say guitar players, like Dwayne Allman, Dickie Betts, Derek Trucks. I love Trey Anastasio from
Mm-hmm.
Fish. He kind of goes out on a limb with his stuff, and I like that experimental type thing, risk taking type chances with music,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
it keeps your mind guessing and fresh instead of hearing the same thing over and over.
Right.
So, I mean, I like the jam band type stuff, but I also like some pop music too. I mean, if it touches me emotionally and I get the feel from it, I'm gonna like the song. I
Yeah.
mean, it doesn't matter who's playing it or singing it. If it's a good song, I think it's a good
I heard
song.
that T Swizzle ringtone you had.
No attitude.
All right. What do you do for fun?
I like anything outdoors. I mean, I like throwing the frisbee around. I like going hunting, fishing, all that kind of stuff. Hanging with friends at a bonfire.
With a
Stuff like
bar
that.
on fire or a barn fire?
No, no, bonfire.
Right. Just want to
Yeah.
make there are people that are not from Alabama, they might not understand a barn fire. They're like, "Why are you setting bars on fire, man? That's not fair." All right.
Yeah.
Tell me about your most recent concert.
It was Fish at the Orion.
Nice.
They played two nights in a row. I think it was a Tuesday and Wednesday, and
Yeah, that was just a couple months ago, wasn't it?
yeah, and that was my first time at the Orion in that place.
It's
I,
crazy,
I
ain't
think,
it?
oh man, it sounds so good in there, and I mean anywhere you walk around in there, it sounds good. And
Mm-hmm.
I've been to many venues all over the country, and that's top notch
Right?
for real.
They are super proud of it. When we did the tour, they were telling us about the sound installation that's built into the structure itself and
Yeah,
how the amphitheater is shaped to
yeah.
project the sound without a substantial amount of wattage. I mean, like they were intricate with telling me how this
Oh yeah,
worked.
you can tell it's perfection for
Right.
sure.
I mean, you can speak on the stage, like speak, not yell at the top of your lungs, and people can still hear you.
No, I haven't been to the Greek theater,
Mm-hmm.
but in my mind, that's what I picture. This the Greek theater of the South.
Mm-hmm.
So
It's super dope in there. I was. If you watched the tour video, it was an amazing experience to walk around and to see everything, especially the artist sides of it, because
yeah,
the amphitheater itself is super dope, but when you go inside and you see the reserved areas, the offices, the artists, the green rooms, it is
yeah.
just super
And
nice
I saw
around
where
everything.
I saw your video where the dock is, where they back the
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
trucks in and all that stuff. It's funny because I used to work at UPS Freight, where I drove a forklift for several years, and that's what I did was drive on those big 18 wheelers and unload trucks. So I've always thought that stuff was cool too. These big time touring acts that
Mm-hmm.
have five or six 18 wheelers, and they got two or three tour buses and just a convoy coming around the country going to all these places. I love that kind of stuff.
I pointed out the acoustic forklifts, and nobody laughed at my joke. Made me sad. Because the loudest thing you can do is roll one of those floor jacks across the room.
Oh yeah.
All right. So, tell me about your song "Count the Years." What inspired you to write it? What does the song mean to you? How does it make you feel when you hear it?
I mean, count the years. That was one. It was. It happened quick when I wrote it. It was. Sometimes you might have a song that you piece a couple pieces together here and
Mm-hmm.
there
Mm-hmm.
you know that you did several months apart, and sometimes you sit down and you can write a song in 30 minutes. Well, this was one of those that you write one in like 30 minutes, and it was a song about not having the best of days, or best of a day, just kind of a bad day sort of thing, and but trying to look on bright side and be optimistic. Stuff that happens in the past is going to be in the past, and you can't predict the future. So just live in the moment and relax and count the years. That's basically what it is. That's the last line that I sing before the solos.
All right.
It's a guitar heavy track for sure.
All right. We're going to go ahead and play it. We're going to take a listen to it. Here we go.
Stoke the fire after a long hard day. I can stare at the embers burning as the ashes float away. Picking apart my heart are the strings that you unwind. And I'm just sitting here staring and I forgot the time. Where's my drink? I said I'm trying not to fall. It's all I can do for you before I crash into a wall. It's just me and I'm sorry for the things that I don't say. Yeah, I ride a roller coaster and all I see is gray. Getting older now and I can feel the weight of the world just splashing around on this old dirty plate. You can wipe it away, I said, and hold back the tears that are running down your face. So relax, count the years.
Definitely has a Skinner feel to it, for sure.
Oh yeah.
It's like, free bird!
We like guitars around here. My drummer buddy, He more guitar, more guitar. That's all he wants. Loud drums, more guitar.
Your bass player in the back's like,
Yeah. Uh, yeah, for sure.
awesome, awesome. Okay, so what made you want to sign up for a chance at the Orion?
I mean, just to have the opportunity to stand on a stage that some of my idols, the caliber of stages that some of my idols, play on, and just hear what that sounds like and see the people's faces and their reactions and just that big sound, outdoor sound where the music just travels and I don't know. It's just something about like those outdoor amphitheaters. I love them.
All right. Do you have any current projects you want to tell everybody about?
I'm working on a album that I've written the songs myself, produced myself, mixed, mastered myself, and I haven't set a date to when I want to release it, but it's definitely in the works, and everything's been recorded. About half the songs have been mixed and mastered, so I got about five more to finish up, but
Awesome.
looking to get an album out for
Awesome.
sure.
You got any shout outs? Anybody you want to thank?
I mean, I want to thank, a couple of my best friends, Andrew Bonds. He's played in the band with me called the Wheelers that was from Decatur, and he's my drummer, man, and I love him to death, and he's always over here, throwing around ideas, working with me, the little songs that I come up with. He helps me with the structures and stuff like that. Another buddy of mine, Clint Riddle, who you heard playing lead guitar on that track. I
Mm-hmm,
mean,
mm-hmm.
he's just a phenomenal guitar player. He plays banjo, mandolin. I mean, he can play anything with strings on it pretty much. And he's one of my best friends, and I love him to death too. And you got Caleb Weems, who's down in Hartselle. He plays bass. He also plays guitar. Super nice guy. Those two guys actually, Clint and Caleb, they played up in West Virginia this past weekend at the Healing Appalachia Festival
Awesome.
with like Jason Isbell and Tyler Childers, Trey, a bunch of big names up there. They were with some of the opening act type stuff, and I mean they've been around music. They're all these guys are professionals, and I'd like to get together with them and do something big with something like this. Maybe get us started.
awesome sauce. Well, that's all the questions I got for you. Woo. Let me see. Swoop. I did not prep this part, but yeah, this is all the pictures from the Orion tour. Let me move this over here. I'm going to put up a picture of the information I'm going to share with you on this little section of the video.
Okay.
Don't worry about this block of time that is currently burning a hole in my pocket. So, just a heads up, right now we have 4 tentative dates. All of them are going to be at the Orion for the ones that we have already tentative. The first 2 are going to be at Jeff and Blues, which is their the bar that's outside of the actual Orion Amphitheater, but it's right there,
Yeah,
right next
yeah.
to the north entrance. It's a venue that can hold about 100 people. So I
hmm
imagine the first 2 shows are going to be mostly artists and their compatriots, so that
hmm
everybody gets a chance to mingle, everybody gets a chance to talk and share ideas, and more importantly, you get to hear who you possibly could be playing with.
Yeah.
The first event's January 16th, then we have February 20th, March 19th, and the tentative date for the big stage is April 16th.
hmm
Um, Again, music students will have the opportunity to get a 25-minute set. Local musicians will get a 55-minute set, which is a lot if you don't measure your sets out. That's like 10 or 15 4-minute songs plus setup
Oh,
time and stuff. Right. Um, Bio demo.
that's not a problem, I promise.
I'm just making sure because, a lot of people ask, and a lot of people don't know how long a 55-minute set is.
Oh yeah, I mean, my old band, I mean, we would play for 3 hours and do like two sets, and
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we used to put back then we would play mostly original stuff.
Well,
We might play 23, 24 songs in a night or something like that.
right. And it's good that you have your stuff already written. A
Yeah,
lot of people come up on cover band stuff. That's where a lot of people get their start.
I've never wanted to be in a cover band. Don't care anything about playing covers. I mean, I would play all originals every time if I could. I mean, it's cool to throw one in every now and then, but when you hear these bands that, I mean, you go into every bar and every little venue and they're all playing the same stuff over and over. I mean, that's not for me.
Well, that's kind of why we have the layout that we have is because we want to encourage people to get into songwriting, to get into developing that part of their career because like uh, there are definitely bands that have survived for years only doing covers. I want to
Oh, yeah.
say there is a Black Sabbath cover band that was making a whole bunch of rounds here for a while. I can't remember the name of them, but
I'll tell you one that's really big right now is Grateful Dead cover bands. There's a ton of them out there.
well, every song is 17 minutes long,
Yeah.
and everybody is listening is 86. So it's very possible.
Now those first what was it, 3 dates
hmm
before the main stage?
hmm
Um, is that how many artists will like be playing it
So
or
I'm still sorting that out. Most likely,
Mhm.
we're going to have separate um, low stock venues. So
Mhm.
like we can get these places for the day, and the
Yeah.
days 10 like noon to 10. But most likely, because most local artists have day jobs, it'll be something
Yeah.
like 5 to 10. The
Yeah.
the city ordinance cuts us off at 10 because people are
And
ridiculous
what
with sound.
we would be able to do full band stuff on those days.
Um, it's a bar. There's a
Yeah.
place to set up, and you can put a full kit and a couple of guitars. You wouldn't need a whole bunch of amperage because, again, it's a venue meant
Yeah.
for like 100 people. When we go
Yeah.
outside to the dome on March, that's when you can get rowdy. The
Now
dome
is
is an
that
actual, yeah, the big covered dome right outside of Jeff and Blues.
okay? So
It's
that so the first two would basically be the smaller
right,
inside a bar. The next one, the dome,
right.
and
The dome
then
is 500 people.
okay,
It's the outside one. It's covered. It's got a stage. It's got a bar in there, and it's got pretty good acoustics.
now I mean whoever's chosen to partake in this thing, are they going to play at every single one of those?
Maybe. So like legit, I want as many people playing as possible. Even if
Yeah,
we
you
got to
want a rotation.
draw names from a hat or round robin it, or you get a chance to go up and play 3 songs and somebody else gets a chance to go up and play 3 songs. It will by no means be full sets on the first 3 events.
Yeah,
Possibly on the dome event, we'll get a mini set of like 5 songs.
yeah,
But by that point, we should be pretty locked in on who's actually going to be playing. Because there's some people that can't stand in front of 100 people. But
yeah,
there's some people that prefer smaller venues. There's some people that might figure out that they prefer smaller venues at a large venue, if you
yeah.
get what I'm saying. And so if you get in front of 500 people and you're all of a sudden really uncomfortable and you don't want to perform, obviously putting you out in front of 8,000 people is a really bad idea.
Yeah, no, I understand.
So, right
So maybe,
now,
so if I were to do this, maybe the first two would just be like me playing acoustic, playing 2 or 3 songs,
right,
come to the dome, bring the band,
right,
let her rip a little bit,
right.
and 5 songs you said, and then if we
I
made it
mean,
to
again, the first two ones, they're going to be a lot of artists and they're people. So
yeah,
everybody might not get a chance to play one or the other, but I'm
yeah,
trying to get everybody a turn to show off what they got.
yeah, like
Because realistically, people want to know who they're going to be playing with. They want to know who they're quote unquote competing with.
yeah,
And frankly, I've gotten a lot of just kick ass submissions already. Like,
yeah,
I'm seriously wondering how I'm going to be able to choose.
yeah,
And I mean, like I've shared your music, obviously. I've shared your
hmm
music with some of the people that I'm partnering with. And I've
hmm
shared other entries as I get them in. And it is already like, mm,
yeah,
mm, this guy needs to be touring. This guy needs to be touring.
yeah.
This guy needs to be touring. Why are they still here? Why haven't we found them yet? You know
But
what I'm saying? Like,
that's all. That's awesome, though. I mean, I don't know what it is about this area. I mean, think about Muscle Shoals and Fame Studios over there, and
so I got a
I
homie that
mean,
worked at Fame for a really, really long time.
it's
And I'm going to
there's some
try to
good
get him
music.
to come in and help out for what we got going now. But just the heritage of music we have, um, it is so deep and so vibrant that it really surprises me that it has taken this long to get a music revival in this area.
Yeah,
And I'm hoping that even if my event doesn't go over and over and over, because I want this to be a super success. I want to keep doing this every year. By the way,
yeah,
if you make it in this year, you won't be able to go next year if you
yeah,
make it to the final sets, if you get what I'm saying.
yeah,
So like if you play the dome or you play the big stage, you're not going to be able to do it 2025. You
yeah,
you'd be more than welcome to come join as a support person, to vet somebody, to introduce somebody, to be a
yeah.
backup.
Sure.
But uh, the whole premise is developing careers for people that want it. So if you've won once, you can't really win again. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just just gotta throw it out there for people. This is our first
No,
artist
I
spotlight,
completely.
so it's covering a lot more than just your spotlight. I'm sorry, but it has been super awesome sitting here and talking with you. I probably talked your ear off more than I need to.
No, man, I love this kind of stuff. I mean, it's music, writing music, and anything for music. I'm down with, man,
I
for sure.
agree with you. Any questions for me? Do you have anything?
I mean, you obviously got my cell phone number now. I'll save your number in my phone, but I mean, going forward, just keep me in the loop. You know, if if I'm chosen or whatever I need to do, you just let me know, and I'm
So like
down.
100%, the first two events, you're
Yeah.
automatically invited just by being an entrant. Does
Okay.
that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, we're going to start getting you guys in front of people. We're going to start getting you in front of promoters, in front of managers, in front of booking agents.
Yeah.
So even if you don't get to the big stage, it should still help you.
Yeah.
And everything that I've planned so far is at no cost to our entrance.
Yeah.
So your people might have to pay to get into the show,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
you plus three, you're already in. Even if you perform at the first two sets, but you don't want to go any farther, you still get tickets to the big stage. You still get to come and
Okay.
experience it with everybody, you can still come out and enjoy the show, because I want everybody that's a part of it to feel like they're a part of it. Does that make
Yeah.
sense?
Yeah. No, that's awesome, man. I'm just so happy that stuff like this is going on and moving forward. That's what I hope and look for in the future for stuff like. I mean, this place, this amphitheater is 20 minutes away, man, and it's one of the best amphitheaters I've ever been to. And
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's what they built it for. Get these awesome acts and awesome artists in here, and when the big guys aren't rolling through here, let's do some local stuff, for
Oh yeah,
sure.
it's going to be a riot. It's going to be super dope. And that's all I got for you. So I appreciate your time and enjoy the rest of your evening.
Yes, sir. Nice to meet you, Ben.
Yes, sir. Take it easy.
Thank you. Have a good night.